I guess I got my love for writing from my father, who was, also a writer. And yeah, I've been trying to write since I was in elementary school, and keep on trying. My first story that I'd like to read is based on something that happened in the Chinatown community many years ago, and involved one of my students at Charlestown High School. Fight for rights. Any luck today? Lon asked. No, it's the same everywhere. I can't stand it anymore, Ming answered. Well, you have to do something about it. You can't just keep working at the restaurant and not get paid for your work. It's not fair. What can I do? There's nothing I can do about it. You can talk to your coworkers first. Get them all to work together against Lee. They're all in the same situation. They don't know what to do either. It's useless. If you don't talk to them, how do you know they don't know anything? Talk to them tomorrow. Promise me. Okay, I'll talk to them, but it won't do any good. I'm too tired for this. I'm going to bed. It's work, sleep, every day, 6 days a week. Still tired the next morning, Ming got ready for another 11-hour day at the restaurant. He was reluctant to talk to his co-workers, but he knew his wife was right. They had to do something about the situation. They had to get paid for all their work hours, and Lee shouldn't be taking their tips. But Lee had gone to law school. Shouldn't he know and follow the law? Ming looked for opportunities to talk to his co-workers, picking the ones he thought would more willingly agree to talk to first. It turned out to be surprisingly easy. They were mostly fed up too. But what would the next step be? Some had suggested that they go to the Chinatown People's Progressive Association for help. That's what they had heard people on the streets say. But he was hesitant to go to them. People also said that they're commies. He hated the commies who had ruined Vietnam, splitting it into North and South. But he also knew that Lon, being from China, would support the idea. So they went to CPPA for help. The people there got all the information from all the workers. They took the case to the Attorney General. It took months for things to happen, but they were finally getting somewhere. They would get back they would get back pay and tips paid out to them. Lee was forbidden to fire them for reporting him. He had to change his practices and be monitored. Ming was still tired, and he regretted not having studied harder in high school, and that he had never joined his friends at CPPA for ping pong when they went. He had to admit it when he saw a couple of his former teachers at CPPA. At least he'll be paid better from now on. Okay, it's almost over now. Things should be better soon, Ming told Lon. Yes, it was the right thing to do. Now, all of us can have a somewhat better life. Not just you and me and the kids, but all the other workers and their families too. The doorbell rang and Lon got up. "No, it's late, I'll get it." Ming went downstairs to see who it could be. Lon heard 3 loud bangs. They sounded like gunshots. So she ran down the stairs and saw Ming lying in the doorway in a pool of blood and screamed. New England Medical Center was just across the street, but it was too late. Ming's body was lifeless. All 3 shots were to his head. Lon held Ming in her arms, crying. The second story is, it comes from a couple of writing exercises that the Writers Group did during our meetings. And I think I'll read half of it. And hopefully you'll be inspired to read the rest of it to see what happened. Canoeing. Damn, it's hot, Al thought as he came out of the dinky little general store with his cigarettes and matches. A station wagon was driving down the road with a canoe strapped to its roof. A soccer mom car, driven by a guy. Must be a fag, Al thought. As the car drove by, its mirror slightly nicked the one on Al's car. Al crossed the street and examined the mirror on his 1971 Dodge Charger. There was a tiny scratch in the paint. Al got in his car and followed the wagon. A few miles down the road, the wagon pulled into a path leading to the river. Al watched as they took the canoe off the roof and put it halfway into the water. Then he drove to the next landing area, where it was rockier. Al parked and took everything out of his pockets. He lit a cigarette and walked down to the river and looked upstream. After 10 minutes, the canoe came into sight. About time. Here goes, Al said to himself, and slipped carefully into the river. He swam out to the middle, near where the rocks jutted way out. When the canoe came close, he took a deep breath and ducked under the water. Okay, you can find out what happened.